Greeting guys, so welcome back. So today we will be reviewing a book named the Kubernetes Bible, which is second edition by Gineesh and Russ. So this guy doesn't like just teach Kubernetes basics. It's a full production grade manual which tightly woven with like hands-on workflows you will need for like real world MLOps, even for DevOps. So let me walk you through all 21 chapters, mapping each to how they support AI and ML infrastructure. So chapter 1 to 5, which just covers core and pod designs. So the first chapter is Kubernetes fundamentals, which covers the container history and orchestration basics, which is great for like onboarding ML workloads into production. And then the second chapter is Kubernetes architecture, from container images to running pods. So underpins how pods and control panels components work, which is crucial for reliability. And then the third chapter, which is installing your first Kubernetes cluster, which includes Minikube, kind, kubeadm, so as well as on-premises versus cloud setups. And then the fourth chapter is running your containers in Kubernetes, which just demonstrate paths, jobs, cron jobs, and which is essential for like batch training pipelines. And then the fifth chapter, which is using multi-container pods and design patterns. It just covers sidecars, ambassadors, and adapters, ideal for like AI inference, pre-processing workflows. And then the chapter 6 to 10, which covers like multi-tenancy config workloads. So the sixth chapter is like namespace, quotas, and limits for like multi-tenancy in Kubernetes. Basically, for to like manage GPU allocations and isolate ML teams environment. And then the seventh chapter, which is like configuring your pods using config map and secrets, like inject the model paths, like feature flags and sensitive info securely. And then the eighth chapter, which is like exposing your pods with services, like helps to like serve ML models externally via cluster IP, node port, and then load balancer. And then the ninth chapter is persistent storage in Kubernetes. Handles like PVCs, which is persistent volumes, PVCs, which is persistent volume client, and then CSC, which is container storage interface, which is ideal for like model artifacts and checkpoint storage. And then the 10th chapter, which is running production grade Kubernetes workloads, which covers HA, which is horizontal autoscaling, replica sets, and then fundamental for like serving large scale models. And then the chapter 11 to 14, which covers like deployment, stateful, and tools. Like 11th chapter is like using Kubernetes deployment for stateless workloads. I mean like blue, green, and rolling updates, and then perfect for like inference services. And then the 12th chapter is stateful set, deploying stateful applications, which is useful for like future stores, databases used by pipelines. So the 13th chapter is daemon set, which maintaining the pods singleton on nodes. Think like logging agents or like GPU node utilities. And then the 14th chapter, which is working with Helm charts and operators. So leveraging the Helm for like packaging ML stack and create operators to automate the model rollout logic. Like 15th chapter is Kubernetes cluster on Google Kubernetes engine. And then the chapter 15 to 17, which covers the cloud clusters, which is best practices for ML on GKE. So the 16th chapter is launching AWS EKS, which is Elastic Kubernetes Service, which covers EAM, node groups, logging, and code for AWS-based AI. And then the 17th chapter is Kubernetes cluster on Azure AKS, which is Azure Kubernetes Service, which includes AAD integration, storage, scaling, and useful for Microsoft-centric pipelines. So, and the chapters 18 to 21, which covers like security, scaling, and multi-cluster. So, 18th chapter is security in Kubernetes. So, which explores the RBAC, which is role-based access control, part securities, and admission controls, non-negotiable for like ML system handling private data. The 19th chapter is advanced techniques for scheduling pods, node affinities, times, or tolerations, static pods, and mandatory for GPU scheduling. And then the 20th chapter is autoscaling Kubernetes pods and nodes. HPA, like horizontal pod autoscaler, like VPA, which is vertical pod autoscaler, cluster autoscaler, and then which just ensures the model serving scales with traffic. And then the final chapter, which is 21st chapter, which is advanced Kubernetes, traffic management, multi-cluster strategies, and more. It just covers ingress routing, gateway APIs, and then multi-cloud federations, which allows the deploying models edge to edge globally, including like early testing and traffic mirroring. So why it just matters for MLOps engineer? So this table of contents like reveals the book strength. Okay, a complete end-to-end like Kubernetes curriculum, now like optimized for like real-world ML needs, from basic training like jobs, cron jobs, to secure config secret management, and also covers CI/CD, friendly Helm or operators, and then auto scaling models endpoints. So it's all here. So pair these chapters with your ML tools, Qflow or MLflow, Bent ML, and you will have the deployable, scalable, and reliable ML pipeline you need. So what are some advantages of this book? So it just have a full coverage from core to multi-cluster and auto scaling. So also use like real YML, which is with Helm examples, and also it covers like cloud specific chapters for EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service, GKE, which is Google Kubernetes Engine, and then AKS, which is for Azure Kubernetes Services. So if you are an MLOps engineer or team leader, so this book is a must-have Kubernetes cookbook. So it gives every infrastructure concept you need, from production hardening to like cloud deployment. So let me know which chapters you have like me to break down further in the future videos. I have provided the link to the book in the description below. So if you like this review, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share your current ML deployment start with me. Until next time, optimize, scale, and secure your ML with Kubernetes.